Okay. The first set of questions is what all the examiners will ask the students. So the first thing I'd like to know is, may I know your full name?
My full name is Ragab Kamal Hussein Abu Halima.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
How may I address you?
Officially or friendly?
Just what do you like to be
Ragab. No, Ragab is okay.
official? Ragab. Okay, thank you. Okay, then they ask to see your ID. Of course, I don't need to see your ID because this is just a mock test. You give it to them, they hand it back. Okay, where do you come from?
Originally from a village countryside nearby the city is called Al Mahalla. Al Mahalla.
Okay, so
Quite
okay,
nearby Alexandria.
Okay, so you originally come from El Mahala, Egypt. Okay, okay. All right, the next thing I'm going to ask you is some questions about work. What work do you do?
I teach Arabic as a second language. I'm an Arabic teacher. I teach it. I do it online. I do online classes, but sometimes I do one-to-one classes face to face.
Okay, why did you choose to do that type of work?
Well, basically, I didn't choose it. This is just this is my career. I'm a graduate of a faculty that helped me to be a good teacher. So, and I liked it later on because I like dealing with the students. They could be children, they could be mature, they could be teenagers, but I like dealing with them. I feel like I'm doing something when I'm teaching them something new.
Okay. Is it very interesting?
It is, actually. I find it interesting.
Okay. Do you miss being a student?
Oh my, yes, I do.
Okay.
Does it have to be a short answer or like a long answer?
It doesn't have to be very long. Okay, but try to maybe give, try to give at least a 2 to 4 word answer if you can for part 1. Just give them a little bit of information, but you don't want to give too much information because you may, the answer that you're giving may carry into the next question, and then you're just going to be repeating yourself.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I really miss being a student. 5 words.
I mean, maybe give, a little more. Yeah, I really do miss being a student, because why? Okay, this is what you should do. I miss being a student because why? So kind of add like why you miss.
Yeah. So it could be different things. I miss being with my friends who I hardly have enough time to meet them anymore. My colleagues from the university, I would say, from even the high school. Well, I would say life was kind of easier than now. I found it now kind of harsh and tough. But before, you're just a student doing nothing but learning.
Okay, good. Okay, the next thing we're going to speak about is your home or accommodation. Okay. Do you live in a house or a flat?
I live in a flat.
Okay. Can you please describe it a little?
Well, I live in a flat or an apartment in, I think, 13 floors building. My apartment, my flat is 3 rooms, 1 kitchen, 1 bathroom, 1 balcony. I have 1 bedroom and 1 spare room and 1 office room, or where I do my work.
Okay. What is your favorite room in your home?
My office room.
Okay. What have you done to your room to make it look nice?
Well, I didn't do anything, but I just enjoy being there. And one time, I think last year, I got that sofa. I really thought that it would be nice because on the internet, it looked like it's comfortable, and I thought it could be used as bed. But later on, I found out that I'm mistaken. I shouldn't have bought it actually. I feel
Mm,
bad for paying that money getting
mm.
it.
Okay. Who do you live with?
I live with my wife and three cats, three lovely cats.
Oh, okay. Which room does your family spend most of the time in?
Okay, when you say your family, you mean my wife and my cats, or my
Yeah.
family where my family live, my mom and dad, my parents, you mean?
No, your family that you live with.
Well, most of the time they spend the time by the bed because my cats used to be like in bed most of the time, cuddling, playing together, playing with my wife. So yeah, they spend most of the time by the bedroom.
Okay. How long have you lived there?
Um, I lived there 1 year for 1 year and probably 4 months now or 5 months.
Okay. What do you usually do in your house or your flat? Like, what do you do to spend time?
Um, well, I could be doing most of the most different things, but most of what I'm doing could be online classes, my classes. I could be sometimes I cook if I have uh, if I have enough time and if there's something in my mind I would do, I cook. Talking with my wife
Mhm.
or actually I have like some kind of weird habit. Sometimes I just feel like going to the bathroom and sit in the bathroom. I don't know why, but I feel like it is something,
Okay.
just
Okay.
watching videos on the bathroom.
Okay. Do you plan to move?
Not so far, but my contract or my lease will be lasting until the end of August, I guess, or maybe beginning of September. It depends on
Mm,
the lease. If the landlord is planning on extending it with the same price, it's okay. If he's just increasing a little bit, it's okay. But if it's going really up high, I cannot handle it. I'll try to find something cheaper because it's rental apartment. I don't own it.
okay. Okay, the next thing we're going to go to part two of the exam. All right. And I'm going to share the cue card with you so that you can see it. So let me come back to you. Okay. Application. Okay. Can you see the cue card?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. The question I'm going to ask you is describe an activity that you do after school or work. Okay, so this is
Activity.
part activity. This is part two. So I'll give you 1 minute to think about the question. And underneath the main question are some questions to help you prepare an answer. So you should say what it is, when and where you do it, who you do it with, and how you feel about it. Okay, so just take a minute to think about what you would like to say
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like get a piece of paper and a pen and jot down some, words or some phrases
Yeah, I got
to
it.
help you make an answer.
Mm.
Okay, so I'll give you 1 minute to think about it, starting now.
Oh, yeah. Okay, ready.
Okay, you're not supposed to tell the examiner that you're ready. You're supposed to wait till the examiner tells you when you can start talking.
Sorry, I'm not ready.
Okay, no, I'm just letting you know. Okay. All right, so it's been about a minute anyway, so we'll go ahead. And again, I'm going to time you. I want you to try and speak for up to 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we will start now.
Well, I would describe the activity that I do after work or after school, which is cycling. Uh, Usually, I'm a school teacher, so I teach at school. I go to work with my bicycle. Sometimes I go early in the morning, even before the duty time. So I go there cycling. By the time I'm back, I take my time cycling home, and sometimes I go around the city if I'm not too exhausted. When and where do you do it? I do it around the city, and I'll try to look at the map to to see the place more and more, to some places where I've never been to, but mostly around the garden areas. Who do you do it with? Basically nobody. I do it by myself. Yeah. How do you feel about it? I really feel comfortable when I'm doing it. I really enjoy it because to me, I don't know how to describe it, but um, when I do it, I feel like satisfied. I feel like I'm doing something important to myself because I find it like relief in my mind because most of the day I'm being stressed because of work and I don't have enough time to go to the gym. So cycling, I feel is like the best way where I can release my stress. It helps my body and even helps my mental health. Uh, yeah, that's pretty
Okay,
much. I would.
okay. All right, that's good. The one thing though, I noticed that you were kind of like, when you wanted to talk about something like when and where do I do it, you would read when and where do I do it? Well, I do it. You don't have to do that in your answer,
Okay.
okay, on the actual exam. Just talk about what it is you do. Don't be like, where is it that I do the activity? That you don't have to do that. Just say where you do the activity,
Okay.
you know, and who do you do it with? You don't have to say, who do I do it with when you give the answer. Just say who you do it with, if you do it alone, if you do it with other people. Okay, so I'm just letting you know that ahead
Okay.
of time. Okay. All right, so I'm going to stop the share and then we're going to move on to part 3. Okay. Okay, you won't be able to see me because I need to see the questions. Okay, so part 3. Okay, these are the follow-up questions for part 3. So again, on part 3, you want to give a more extended answer than you would for part 1. Okay, so the first question I'm going to ask you about is, why do some people enjoy extreme sports?
Um, so I should answer right away, or I take my time to think.
No, you try to answer it. I mean, don't take too much time to answer.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you understand what the word do you understand what they mean by extreme sports?
Yeah, yeah, I understand.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Why do some people enjoy extreme sports? I mean, it's pretty much your opinion on why people do.
yeah. I
So,
think well, it could be some people they really like uh, to watch other people being hurt, or they could be like betting, betting on somebody he would win. I know some people who
mhm,
they enjoy watching wrestling, or actually they enjoy uh, following up with such sport. I would say if you call it sport or UFC, which is like boxing and things like that. Uh,
mhm,
that's pretty much because when they watch it, it just get them too excited. You know,
mhm.
enthusiasm to find out who's gonna win. Oh, you need to punch him. Do this, do that. I think it just as I would call it, like increase their excitement level.
Okay. Are men more likely to do adventure sports than women?
I'm sorry.
Are men more likely to do adventure sports than women?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. I find it like that because uh, men would like to do different things because by nature, naturally, of course, there are some exceptions, but by nature, the way the men's body would be able or capable of handling some kind of sports or some kind of adventure. Of course, too many women will be able to do it, but not everybody. It's not like the same, right? So that's what I think about it. For
Okay.
instance, like climbing mountains. Of course, too many women will be really good at it, but maybe um, I think most of people would be men.
Okay. What are some popular outdoor activities in Egypt?
Actually, I don't think it is. I don't think there's any kind of outdoor activities, but I would say it could be cycling, from what I know of.
Mhm.
Sometimes I feel like bored by cycling by myself, so I go on the internet trying to find some groups. So I found out that some groups they do it once a week, every Friday, which is Friday the weekend here in Egypt. So yeah, they will be cycling, going to see some new places, or just to be together. They will be cycling in the street in a long line, which is pretty much I enjoy
Okay. What do young people do in groups?
it. I mean, am I allowed to ask?
What do young people do in groups?
Which groups? Is it like adventure groups, work groups?
No, no, no. Just in general, young people, what do young people do in groups?
Well, basically they share. Well, they could be sharing experience they've had before. They could be asking about things they about to experience soon. So they were asking like, so for instance, I have a friend of mine. His name is Magdi. So we used to spend time together and some other friends by the college. So whether he's sharing with us his experience with his girlfriend, for instance, or like asking what to do, what to do regarding this issue, etc. Just whether sharing or asking about experience.
Okay. All
Am I
right.
making sense?
Kind of. Yeah, I mean, I think they were looking more for, what do groups of young people do when they hang out? You
Well, yeah,
know,
that's what I'm
what
saying.
what,
Which
what you're
group?
yeah, what you're saying, you're saying basically you and your friends just share your experiences about life. So you do conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, when they say what do groups of young people do a lot of things. They go to the malls, they go to the theater,
Okay.
they do
Yeah.
sports together, stuff like that. But yeah, so basically your own experience as a young person hanging out with your friends, you guys just kind of have conversations about life together.
Hmm.
So yeah, I understand what you're saying. Okay. So from what I heard, I would say that, you have a good command of the English language. Your vocabulary is very good. I feel that, you accurately use words and expressions. I didn't hear a whole lot of idioms or expressions when you were speaking. This is generally what they'll be looking for a band score high of 8 or 9. But you do seem to handle the language, the complexity of the language well. But I feel that if you wanted to go up a higher level, like 8 or 9, you would have to use, more expressions, maybe brush up a little bit more on your phrasal. I'm trying to think what I want to say. Try to brush up a little bit more on complex sentence structure, like using more phrasal verbs and things like that. But your connectors are fine. When you're forming your sentences, your connectors are fine. I feel like some of the questions you might have not really been sure what I was asking, like extreme score. It's really important for the exam that you understand the questions that are being asked before you go in and take the exam. There is a little bit. There is a little bit when it comes to slight inaccuracies when you're making a sentence, but for the most part, your English is understandable. I would say, you would definitely, I would consider you a good user and a competent user of the English language. I don't think anybody would have any problems understanding you. So this would put you around, a band 6 to band 7 range. Again, if you want to go, if you want to head into more of a band 9 or a band 8, you have to really kind of try and use expressions and, idioms if possible. You want to really kind of use like complex, I'm trying to think, like phrasal verbs. Trying to think what else, what else I could tell you. But your vocabulary was good. I saw, a wide range of vocabulary, so that's not the problem. For the most part, I definitely see you being at a band 7, between a band 6 and a band 7. No. But yeah, for sure, I think you should, I think if you maybe expressed more, I'm trying to think. There's a word that I'm thinking about, but I'm kind of like, it's not staying with me. It's not coming to my mind, is what I'm saying. But overall, here, let me come back to you. Overall, you did well. Your answers for the last part, for part 3, especially the last one, I think what you answered wasn't bad, but I wasn't sure what you were going at. I think you should have expressed it a little bit more like, this is what me and my friends who are young, we do. You guys really aren't the types that go to the cinema or go shopping at the mall. No. We just sit around and talk about our life and, compare our lives and maybe get, advice from each other in regards to our life. So, kind of, that's why I wasn't really sure when you gave me the last answer, but I understood what you were saying.
Thank you.
So, but yeah, just kind of, hold on, let me see here. It's really bothering me because I'm trying to figure out this one thing that I wanted to tell you about, but it's just kind of slipping my mind. You're fluent. There's no doubt. You're very fluent in the English language. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, just try and, work on, maybe incorporating some phrasal verbs or, idioms, or not really idioms, but expressions that native speakers usually use when they're giving answers. This will move you up to the 8 or 9 band. Okay. This is the type of thing they're looking for there. But other than that, you did a good job. Okay.
Thank you, Miss Linda.
So,
thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for, taking the time to do this video with me. Welcome. Okay. Okay. Thanks. And have a good evening. Oh, was that out?